Greetings, family. So, I felt compelled at 3:10 in the morning in the cold to not move a single step further until I got some things off my chest publicly, right? There are these moments in our lives that we can always point back to that specific moment that was pivotally impactful, permanently impactful, right? We can feel it in our body, we hear a song, whatever. And I've had many of those moments. And they seem to be happening more and more frequently than in my collective life. And fortunately, I have been still enough and afforded the abilities that I never understood why I had. There are abilities that I have always had, and it never made sense in the world the way that it is, why I would have these abilities. It didn't make sense in the place that I incarnated in Dothan, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Why? There are things, abilities that I possess that no matter what circle I go into my entire life, one of the things I hear all the time is, oh my God, Iapo, like, is there nothing you don't remember? Like, you remember everything, right? And I was like, okay, maybe I just have a good memory, right? I just chalked it up to just having a good memory. And then it was like, oh my God, Iapo, you are truly the Renaissance woman. You're a mother, you go to school, you play instruments, right? You're an artist, you're a weaver. Like, girl, is there anything you don't know how to do? And I was like, yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm crafty, right? I can work shit out. My ability to make friends anywhere I go. Like, I love people. To me, it was like of no consequence. I'm like, I like people. It's not hard for me to be friends with every fucking body, right? And it wasn't until, so let me get back. So I have these abilities, right? And I also partnered with my abilities have been my personal experiences. Okay? Those experiences are directly tied to relationships of any kind. Parents, sibling, whatever. Passing stranger on the street. Every experience that I can think of is directly tied to another human being in one way or another, right? But my ability to, even no matter where I am in space, to make connections happen. The other thing that I've heard many, many times was, oh my God, Iapo, I am so grateful for that event that you did because I met so-and-so and now we have this thriving business. Or thank you, Iapo, for this connect because guess what? We thriving now, right? So let me just tell you something. All things, baby. All things perfectly are. All things perfectly are. Divinely are. And the shit has hit me I saw it coming. I got sick twice in a year. And as a matter of fact, oh my God, what's today? The 19th? Shit. What? Okay, so I'm having a moment right now. A year ago today, I got sick. I was planning a spiritual retreat for the winter solstice with a friend of mine in Atlanta. And I got sick before people even arrived. Like dreadfully sick. Like it felt like I was swallowing razor blades. And it came on quick. Boom. Right? And my retort has always been, I don't get sick. I don't get sick. You feel me? Like, I don't know. I just don't get sick. Right? And the few times that it happens or has happened in my life was impactful. It was important. It required me to take a moment. I'm telling you, man, I'm just telling you that every time that I have gotten seriously ill in my life, and then I would even reduce that. I'd say, oh, well, I just come from good stock, right? Cool. But every time I did get seriously sick, it was at a moment in my life that was critically pivotal. Okay? I got sick today, a year ago, and I didn't even think about that until I started doing this live. I got sick a year ago today, organizing with a friend of mine an ayahuasca ceremony for some pretty powerful human beings. And they were divinely placed. You know, they thought they were just supporting me, but they were divinely placed. The people that were supposed to be there were there. I got sick, right? And I was sick through the whole ceremony. So I stepped back and I let others kind of take control while I was still kind of like mothering the group. First of all, I was the oldest person in the group and like significantly older. I think oh no, I wasn't the oldest person in the group. There was one other that was older than me. Okay. A brother. So anyway, I got sick and I ended up in the hospital in the emergency room. After ayahuasca, came back to LA. 3 hours after I got off the plane, I was in the emergency room. Anybody knows me knows I don't do hospitals. I stay away from hospitals. So for me to go to the hospital, I was scared. Okay. I spent Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after Christmas in the hospital just a few months after I had created the opportunity for my daughter and my grandchildren to transition here. So they spent their first Christmas in California with me in a hospital and with my then roommate, like trying to create some semblance of stability and family for them while I was on my ass, right? I'm telling you this now for a reason. Because I just had this conversation this weekend. I'm telling you, everything is coming down on me like in one fell swoop. Like what I'm telling you is a moment. It's another one of those divining moments for me. It is yet again another rebirthing of myself that has happened on this night. Not planned for, not deliberate, you understand? All the little, cause y'all know me, I'm about my rituals, oh, full moon, let me do this and this and this and this and right, and plot, and affirm, baby. Tonight, I was like, you know what? I need to go dancing. Period. I didn't pull out no candles, you understand? I didn't say no affirmations, you feel me? I was not doing anything deliberate. We went, me, my daughter, and my grandchildren went to go spend some time with a friend of mine. Her family welcomed us in today, on Family Day. They are, Chumash people. And so we had a lovely day. My daughter and I had a really impactful conversation. I gave a treatment to this young brother, and I'll be honest, I was resistant to going and doing this brother's treatment. I did not want to get out of bed. I threw a fit in my head like a little kid. I don't want to go. I threw a temper tantrum the entire drive there. I must have cussed everybody on the freeway out en route to this brother's house. And I know better. You understand what I'm saying? I get to his house to do his treatment. And it was so impactful. And when I tell you, I am so fortunate. I am so fortunate. I am so fortunate in every possible way. When I tell you, it is not for show, it is not for play. I am so overwhelmingly grateful for this life. I mean it so much. It has been such an amazing experience. I have met so many incredibly wonderful, powerful, amazing human beings. So many. And so something has been happening to me, and I hadn't been able to articulate it because, I am a Virgo, right? Whatever that means. Highly analytical. I like numbers and stats and spreadsheets and shit, right? Yeah, I can be a little artistic and a little witchy or whatever, but like that kind of shit, right? And so I had been at odds with myself because I wasn't at odds with myself. I don't know if that's making sense, but I got sick again. So I got sick a year ago today, 2 days before this ayahuasca ceremony. And then in September, pivotal, I didn't think about it until just this moment, goddammit. In September, let me backtrack. In August, I started doing 3 things in August deliberately. Because the 8/8 portal was coming up, I was like, okay, I got to be deliberate about my intentions and where I'm putting my energy and shit, right? And so I said, okay, I'm going to do 1 thing creative in August, 1 thing that, appeases my social, political, need. And 3 things. Oh, and then I'm going to fulfill an obligation. Okay? So the obligation was I paid for a board review class that I started taking in August, the first week in August. I had not put my hands in the mud to shape something out of it since I was 19 years old, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to take a pottery class, try to get my pottery skills back up. That's my creative thing, right? My responsibility thing is to go ahead and tie up the loose strings of my, of my education and go ahead and get this, license to practice medicine. So take the California board, license to practice medicine, sit in this review class, right? And then the last thing was, I have been in California for 3 years. Whew. I've been in California for 3 years, almost 4 years. And I have been very mindful and very deliberate about where I was going to expend my energy politically and socially, like as an activist, as my activist self, right? I was just very, very deliberate about not taking on any leadership positions anywhere. And they had been offered to me many, many, many times. But just saying, okay, the only thing that I can do is contribute some labor. I can give you some man hours. I will volunteer to support your project, your destiny, your whatever your bag is. I will contribute the best way that I can, as a volunteer that supports your cause, right? So I've been very mindful of that. And I've been mindful of it because I had a lot of unresolved, unexpressed, negative emotions, attached to my political life before coming to California. And so, being mindful of the lessons that I learned, tiptoeing around leadership positions and shit like that, I said, no, I'll just support other people's stuff. I'm cool with that. I don't have to take the limelight. That ain't what it's about for me. I will show up and put chairs up at your event if you need me to. Cool, right? So, in July, I had been asked to speak at an event and subsequently to participate in the committee that built that event, and then another event that comes up later in the year, both of which I think are amazing events. I totally still support. But this was the first time since I've been in California where I have actively said out of my mouth, I will be on your committee. I will take responsibility for some area of this work. Okay? And baby, Spirit was like, no, ma'am. That lasted 3 weeks. Spirit was like, no, ma'am, this ain't what it's about. You cannot go to old shit. You cannot go to old shit, baby. This ain't it. I still didn't listen. That wasn't the message that I got. I still didn't listen. You understand? Because when you know everything, it's hard for you to feel anything. Okay? When you know everything, it is hard for you to feel anything. Like genuinely feel it, right? So after that happened, it was disappointing, especially how it went down. I respect every single last one of the organizers. I love you guys. I think you are the most awesome people on the planet. But I was disappointed, okay, about how that kind of, that transpired. Cool. No harm, no foul. It was revealed before I got like neck deep in some shit, right? Spirit's like, look, you got your own shit you need to be worried about. You feel me? I wasn't taking no hints. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm getting to a point. But I have to do this right now. Okay? Because when the sun comes up, I will be different. I will be new, you see. So this is me in the now. Seizing the perfection of this moment. Okay? So, I didn't heed the message. I was like, okay, plan, plot, strategize. 8/8 portal. August is a big month. Set new goals, set new intentions. La, 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 right? So I took the pottery class. It was great. And I felt something, like it was like a distant memory. Okay? But I put it away because now I got to study to take these boards. You feel me? And that was brutal. The same week that I started taking the boards and that I started taking this pottery class, I got approached about assisting logistically on helping to create a wellness retreat, a spiritual retreat, right? Which I was so hyped for because, ooh, baby, let me tell you about the moment. Oh my God. Because I was grateful for, because I, as a healer, have been recognizing in others what the last year and a half has done. And the things that we've come to rely on to give us solace have not been readily available, right? Like, I have a lot of relationships with Indigenous brothers and sisters out here from North and South America who, in quote regular times, seek refuge in the sweat lodge, in Inipi, in ceremony, and however that, unfolds for them. But a lot of these spaces, baby, were not available. So when I was approached about this retreat, I was like, yes, I'm on board. What you need, right? So I like, whatever, the details don't matter. So I'm hyped because I know that everybody, and even the response to the retreat was so immediate, right? People are like, yeah, we need this. I don't care. I'll take the risk. I need this. Okay. And so did I. I was like, yes, I can't wait. So the week that, oh my God, the week that, we were preparing to enter the retreat, I got sick, right? And I know me, just like I told you a year ago today. I was like, uh-oh, I felt it. It was ever so subtle. The wind hit my ear just the wrong way. And I told the brother that I was with, I was like, I'm going to be sick in 2 hours. I said, I need a scarf. I need something to put around my neck and my ears. I am going to be sick. And I'll be goddamn. He was like, girl, get out of here. I was like, I'm telling you, in 2 hours, I'm going to be sick. And I'll be damned if I wasn't sick, right? So September, fast forward. I'm going back and forth. Fast forward to this retreat that I am helping or assisting to organize, in September. Now, me being the organizer that I am, I'm an organizer brain. This is a spiritual retreat, but I'm an organizer brain. Logistics, make videos. We gotta meet our dollar amount. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to meet our budget so that we can take care of the people who are taking care of us, right? That's my default, is problem solving, right? And the day before we were to leave, and I am the logistical organizer, okay? The day before we were supposed to leave, I woke up feeling like I had a hangover. I had drank the night before, but I don't drink to the point of drunkenness. I have not since I got clean from drug use. I can tell you that you can't find nobody that has said, yeah, I've seen Yapo drunk. I don't get drunk, right? So I woke up that day feeling like I had a hangover. And I was like, well, I know good and damn well I ain't drank enough to have no hangover, like a serious hangover. Like, I'm looking at the ceiling, it's doing one of these numbers, full forehead, fucking, right, forehead, headache, whatever. And even, yeah, whatever. So anyway, I was like, uh-oh. So I just laid in the bed till about noon because I had an event. It was a fundraising event that we were all going to do to make this last ditch effort to get the resources to support the facilitators of the retreat, right? And I got sick, and I went ahead and went to the studio because we'd already planned this raffle. And, I alerted people that I was not feeling well and that I'd already made the decision that I wasn't going. That I wasn't going, right? I was like, I know me, and I know this is a problem, so I'm not going, right? And even two of the elders were like, come on, just, you don't know what it is or how bad it is. Just come on, you can get the healing there. I was like, nope, I'm not going to take them chances. However, in that space that we were in, we took whatever precautions that we could, but in that space, I take responsibility, Shannon, by the way. I, as the controller of the environment in that space, should have been a lot more forward thinking when I knew that I did not feel well. Even though I didn't know the source of it at that point, I should have said, okay, y'all are going to have to do the raffle without me. Y'all can have the keys or whatever. I should have problem solved better around what I was experiencing in my body, right? So anyway, I got sick, right? And so I didn't go. And so I'm trying to logistically lead from afar. The next day, my daughter tests positive for COVID. Okay. So this is the day I'm already supposed to be on the road driving to Northern California for this retreat that I have been looking forward to, right? I can't go. I'm all in my feels because I can't go. But this is my ego brain, not even understanding in the moment until right now, tonight, right now, what it meant. Okay? I only have gotten sick in the past at pivotal moments in my life. In my adult life, I've only been sick maybe 5 times. Man, I'm telling you, I don't even get a common cold. In my adult life, even when I was fucked up on drugs, I did not get sick. Okay? Every time I've gotten sick, it is typically violently ill, like brink of death type ill, or at least it feels like the brink of death, right? It's random as hell. And yeah, it's impactful, life impactful, pivotal. It is like this thing that in the past has alerted me to some change that was coming, right? So in September, I get sick. I can't go to this retreat. I can't go to this wellness retreat. I am sick for about 2 weeks. And then as soon as I'm well, baby, I am at the Grand Canyon. Okay. Like the week after I tested negative, I was in the Grand Canyon with my homeboy Kevin and his family, right? And Spirit was like, bitch, we put you on your ass for a reason. Okay? You ain't everybody else. When you get sick, it is for a reason. Girl, person, right? And so, since September, I've been kind of like on hermit status, right? Since September, I've just been very, very timid and very easy about my interactions. I've been just taking the path of least resistance. You understand? Trying not to even allow myself to be emotionally overstimulated. Okay? That hasn't worked in a lot of times. It's still a learning process for me. But just being a lot more mindful, doing a lot of writing. And then I was doing a lot of wormhole study stuff, right? Because I was sick, man. And when I say I was sick, I mean, I was sick. And I wasn't sick like my daughter and my grandchildren. We all had COVID at the same time. They had all the respiratory, all of that. I didn't have none of that. It was all here. I could not walk 3 feet without falling. I was dizzy, right? That's it. I was just dizzy and headachy and weak. That was it for 2 weeks. But it took me much longer than 2 weeks to recover. I still felt very sensitive, emotionally sensitive, almost exposed, right? And in that exposure, hyperreactive. I swear I'm getting to a point. And I'll probably come back and look at this tomorrow and be like, but this is catharsis right here, okay? So, since September, in this little cocoon phase that I've been in, so many revelations, right? And it started with shadow work, right? But not being fearful of it the way I always had been, because my ego doesn't want to be flawed, right? I'm already, quote, outwardly flawed. This is my thinking. This is my rationale. This is my subconscious, like, trauma place. My physical self is flawed, so I have to be mentally perfect, right? I have to be sharp. I have to be smart. I have to be organized. I have to be with it. I have to be able to hold a conversation in any circle, right? That has to make up for my physical flaws, right? This has been my rationale since I was a girl child. So anyway, in sitting in myself since September and really struggling with relinquishing control, right? I'm a control freak. Not only am I, my past self, the ghost of myself, has been a control freak, has been judgmental, has been aggressive and abrasive, has been combative, has been defensive, has been, secretive, and, all the things, right? And there's no excuse. Like, I know where they come from, and I could say, well, they come from, blah, 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 my trauma and my whatever with that. Like, I'm not trying to live in that, right? I'm not trying to live in that. And so when I tell you that sitting outside in my car in the middle of nowhere, that I just had yet another rebirthing of myself, and it came in chaos. It didn't come with all my organizational background. It didn't come because I know Marxist and Leninist theory. It didn't come because I planned accordingly to do my full moon ritual with my candles that have to be a certain color and they have to burn a certain way because the smoke looks like this, right? I did not do my tarot pull on this night. I came home from a nice little family lunch with my indigenous friends and family and with my blood family, right? They fed my family. They entertained my grandchildren. It was a nice, peaceful day. We watched the moon come up over the mountains. It was gorgeous and shit, right? And I told Morgan on the way home, I was like, baby, I'm going to tell you, I need to go dancing. And she just laughed, right? I was like, on this night, I need to go dancing, right? And guess what? I beelined for the place I always love to go, right? Because I plan, you see, I strategize. Everything is a plan, okay? So I was like, all right, I'm going to put my clothes on. I'm going to go to Lasita. I'm going to go a little early because if I go early, I can dance without there being too many people like just up on me. I'm like, I can get in good. I can get a good sweat on. You understand? When I go dancing. And Spirit was like, no, bitch, you ain't going to Lasita. Let me tell you why. I pulled up to Lasita all cute in my cute little outfit and shit. And the line was wrapped around the building. And I was instantly all in my feels. I was like, damn. Now I gotta go look for somewhere else to dance. I don't know no clubs in this city. Once I find some place, I post up. Who are these people in the damn line that I can't get into my club to get my swerve on? Like, all in my feelings. Cascade of shit. I got an attitude while I'm trying to find some other place to go, right? I'm telling you, resistance the whole time. Resistance. And I know better. That's what I'm saying, man. The more you know, the less you feel. So I'm like, I'm almost about to throw my hands up and be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go home. And I came to this place In here, it's pretty popular. It's been around for forever, called the Echoplex, right? And I'll be honest. Since I've been in LA, I've only been to the Echoplex 3 times. And I was like, it was okay. It was an adventure. It was something to do, right? It wasn't no place I was just like, oh my God, that's my joint, right? But I was like, all right, now, damn it. I just need to post up somewhere and get a glass of wine so I can take the edge off my disappointment, right? They're playing some music in here. I already had an attitude. And then it was just a whole bunch of things that were happening. I had to go back to my car twice in the cold with no jacket. So it was just like these things, these resistances. I get into this club. I know I got to be the oldest person in the club. Everybody looked like my daughter's age. Every single person in there, even the door guys. And I decided I ain't coloring my grays no more. So all my grays is like glistening now. You understand? So I know I got to be the oldest person in the room. Okay? And I would say the average age of anybody in there was like 21 to 27. No joke. And that was the music. It was like their shit. It was like the anthems of their youth. The whole vibe was like early 2000s music. I had an attitude walking into the place. I had an attitude because I conceded. This is where I got to go because they about to make last call anyway, whatever. My whole vibe was funky. I walked up to the bar with an attitude. I ordered my one drink with an attitude. I had the drink in my hand with an attitude. You understand what I'm saying? Just disappointed that I couldn't, quote, go dancing where I wanted, right? Baby. Listen. Spirit was like, bitch, you better let go of everything you think you know. Everything you have learned, it has served you. It has served you, right? But the real question for all of us, baby, is what are we willing to give up to change the world? And we say that with hesitation. We say that with fear because that's all we know. That's all we know, right? But isn't it revealing? Isn't it something? I'm going to say this for tomorrow. Isn't it? No, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now. Isn't it something that when we choose our parents, right? And we go through the portal of life, for that brief moment that we're there, the 9 months, the 40 weeks, whatever, that we are there, is what we're all trying to recreate. It is what we're all trying to get back to. It is what we're all suffering from and for, is the perception of separation. In that moment, from conception to birth, we are one. We are one. From conception to birth, we do not worry about it. We're not in our mother's womb plotting, strategizing, worrying about, what has been done, what will be done, who plotting, scheming, conspiracy theories. We ain't thinking about the Illuminati or the 1% or none of that. For that 9 months, we just perfectly are. That's it. We just perfectly are. The concept of safety is non-existent. The concept of security is non-existent. The concept of hunger or fullness, poverty, starvation, none of that. Because in that moment, which is brief, we perfectly and divinely are. Not only from the external in, but from the internal out. While our mother, she ain't actively, quote, well, I mean, she may, but all she got to do is breathe and eat, and you will live. All she got to do is breathe and eat, and that's from the outside. That's the support from the outside. The support from the inside is this divine spark that just knows to divide on itself and to divide on itself and to specialize here and to go there and to have this function and to do this thing. And it unfolds perfectly and divinely without a clock, without somebody keeping time, without somebody saying stop, go, without somebody saying, oh, it's time to eat. It divinely and perfectly is. And I am telling you, baby, in this moment, that is the only secret that exists. Is that the moment is divinely perfect. We are divinely perfect in it. We are, because she is. The she is the planet. The she is Earth, right? Okay, cool. We are because we are. I am because we are. Right? I am because we are. When we say that we are the divine creators of our own reality, what does that mean? For real. Like, I get it. You know, I've been there. So it is not a judgment. But it is one thing to know what you've learned. And it is another to feel what you have intuited over a collection of lifetimes, over a collection of recycling of yourself to create a new and emerging, growing and blossoming, developing an ever better version of yourself all the time. Right? It's like, yo, I'm just saying, that is it. And if that is it, if as I believe, I don't believe, as I feel and know in my most ancient self that this is it. It is the seed of this illusion of separation is the origin of all that ails us all. It's it. It's nothing else. Everything else, oh my God, everything else is a symptom. Everything, everything is a symptom. And so I had to have a series. I'm telling you, I have had an epiphany tonight. Many. I have had to say, and I will be saying more over the next few days, that I have been wrong in so many areas. But guess what? Those wrongs were necessary in the moment that they were my beliefs. There are no mistakes. They're not. They're just detours in the path. There are no mistakes. They're all, listen, my life has been a blessing. That's all I can say about that. I could dredge up and dig up shit that has been done to me or happened to me. I could, but I won't. You know why? Because I am divinely perfect right now. I, in this moment, am the best version of myself for this moment. That is all. That is all. That is all. Right? Listen, baby, I want to change the world. I want to change the world. I mean it with every cell in my body. I mean it. And I have been it's crazy because it's only now that I can say that I'm grateful, because I can reflect on this beautifully magical life that I've had. But I can tell you, I've been an ungrateful bastard a long time. It took me a long time of living in despair and anger and blame and resentment, to the point that I could not even see the magnitude of the blessings that were just unfolding in front of me all the time, effortlessly. Like, girl, can you just focus on the good for a minute? Can you just focus on how, like, awesome this shit is, right? Like, this is really going to be something that you could write in your book and people be like, that did not really happen. You know what I'm saying? But I was stuck. And I needed it. Listen, I cherish my life. Every single moment of it. The good, the bad, it all. Because it has led me to this moment, that I am just like, first of all, I have to be able to concede that in my wrongnesses, you cannot talk to me, what's his name? Michael Beckwith, while I was on my ass in September, did this presentation that spoke to me. And I couldn't understand in that moment why it spoke to me, but I was compelled to take notes, child. I took notes on the man's whole presentation. He said, moving forward, he said, we have to be careful that we are not talking to ghosts. And what he clarified by saying, he said, you know how you leave home or you leave your hometown, go out in the world, you become yourself, you find out what you really like, and you meet new people, and you develop a, whatever. And then you come back home and people are talking to you from the place that they knew you were in when they last saw you. And then he said, and so sometimes it'll occur to you like, oh, they talking to ghosts. Like, that version of me don't even exist no more. Right. And so not to be offended by it, right? Just to elevate, right? He said, but we have to be mindful, those of us who are elevating, that we're not talking to ghosts either. That while we don't want nobody to treat us based on our past versions of ourselves, we should not do that to others. That we should always speak to everyone we meet in the present, in the now. Who are you in this moment in your interaction with me? That is all I am interested in. That's a hell of a statement, baby. And that shit struck a chord in me tonight. I remembered it. And I know that's why I stopped and took notes that day. Right? Was because we're always doing that. I do it to my daughter every day. I do it to her every day, even though I swore the day she was born, I was never going to judge her. I was never going to, overly mother her or be controlling. And I will catch myself in default doing the same shit I swore out loud I would never do. Right? Judging her parenting style, judging her choice in friends, judging her response to me. I have been doing what I swore I would never do, right? So anyway, right? So that's one thing, but, we all do it. And so the challenge to me tonight was, it's so deep and I didn't mean for this to be this long, man. The challenge tonight for me was, what are you willing to let go of to demonstrate what the new world is? Not can be, not will be in the future. What are you willing to do right now? Oh my God. What are you willing to do right now to demonstrate the new world, to demonstrate the new now, right? Let me tell you something about how all things unfold perfectly. It just is. There's a place that we're trying to get to, and we will get there. But the secret in getting there is the now. It's right this minute. That is it. That is it. Okay? So I had been, let me focus, because there's so much. It's just so much. Yeah, it's the now. And I don't want to approach any of my relationships like I am talking to ghosts. We have no past. Anybody that knows me and I know you and you know I love you, or we have had beef, or we have had falling outs or whatever, listen, I'm doing this live so I can be held accountable. Okay? So people can check me, nudge me gently though. I am saying this live. I am saying this right now, that from this moment on, I have no past. I do not fear the future. This moment, if you hear me talking of the past, I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you some shit, right? I'm trying to tell you something that has happened to me tonight, man, that cannot be fucking undone. Okay? And to tell you that it is amazing and beautiful and joyful, and it happened in the chaos of a nightclub playing music I didn't really like. But Spirit was like, bitch, we got something for you everywhere. So just stop trying to control shit. We got you. You didn't have to control a goddamn thing when you was in your mama's belly. You was fully, perfectly whole. You were nourished. You were covered, protected, and you didn't have to will it into existence. You had to will the spark, but the rest was just perfect, divine knowledge. You understand? All you had to do was say the yes. I am. That's all you had to say. I am. And that spark is when you and your mama and your daddy's egg and sperm got together and was like, that motherfucker say I am. That's it. That's all you had to do. And the rest just unfolded in perfect divine timing. No force was required. And that moment that the spark happened, what preceded the spark was ecstasy. It was an orgasm. It was love, even if it was just for a moment. It was love. I love this pussy in this moment, right? Whatever. It was ecstasy in that moment, right? That was required. Somebody has to have an orgasm, right? Well, maybe not so much anymore. They're trying to make the hell out of it. Well, I digress. Anyway, ecstasy should be the requirement for conception, right? But anyway, I digress again. Okay, so anyway, all you had to do was say, I am. I am. And things work, right? And the most perfect execution of this perfect divine happening is when you are resting comfortably in the body of your mother. You don't know what's going on in the outside world. Right? You don't know you don't know. All you know is that for this period of time, she got you. Okay? Now, she may not have you afterwards. She might abandon you. You understand what I'm saying? She might do any kind of, terrible thing that you perceive as terrible. She might, give you up for adoption or whatever. But in that moment, we are one. She and I are one. That is it. She and I are one. Now, if you need to replace the she to continue to be protected after you're given birth to, right? For those who have like really significant traumas with their mothers, if you need to replace the she, then do that. Make Earth your she. Make an auntie your she. But you need that connection. You need it. Let me tell you something. Baby, everything has changed. Everything was necessary. Everything that happened. I am grateful for every experience. I am grateful for every trial. I am grateful for every wrongdoing. I am grateful. I am grateful for my collective experience. I am. Period. That is all. I am. Because it is only now, like what I've been saying. You know how they talk about how when you say a mantra long enough, there's a moment where it clicks and you believe it? Honey, that happened tonight. The belief is in the body. It's in the flesh. It's in every cell of you. It's not something here. It's here. Belief is here. Belief is in the flesh, baby. Belief is in the flesh. It's not in space. It's not in your head. It is in your body, baby. And oh my God, I'm just trying to tell you something. Baby, my experiences. Let me tell you something. When I became, quote, conscious, right? When I joined the Black Power movement, one of the first things that I did was petition an older brother in the movement who I really respected to come up with my African name. That I didn't need no white person name. I didn't need no Greek name. I needed an African name. It took him a year. To come up with my name. Okay? And my name, the name he gave me, Iapo Moyende Ngina, means collectively, she who has been through many struggles, is on a journey, and fights for her people. What are you willing to give up? What attachments do you have to your sense of self? Are you willing to toss in the fucking fire to be born new? You want to keep some of your past, but leave some of your past, right? Let me tell you, the last time I did ayahuasca was in May. I said I would never do it again. I haven't since then. I was so overcome by fear. And the fear that I was overcome by was the fear, what I thought it was. The fear that I had in that moment, what I thought it was a fear of death. Right? That's what I thought I was fearing. What I was experiencing, which I was doing because I, again, am a fucking control freak. What I was experiencing was the gentle chiseling away of the self that I identify as. All of it. 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 Oh my God. All of it. All of it. I asked this brother to give me an African name for which I was so proud of, right? She who's been through many struggles. I was so proud of the name. I had me a beautiful African name, you understand what I'm saying? It speaks power, whatever, right? Meanwhile, not realizing, not even internalizing, not feeling viscerally how me demanding that nobody but my mother call me Cassandra would make her feel. It never occurred to me once until tonight. God damn it. How I've been Iapo since 2003. I never once stepped outside myself to try to feel what my mother felt when I told her I didn't want anybody calling me Cassandra anymore. After I sat in her body, my mama squeezed out 2 10-pound fucking babies. After my mother allowed me to completely and permanently distort her body so that I could do something in this realm. Imagine the hurt and the lack of gratitude it shows to her that I would say that the name that she gave me at the moment I became was not good enough. I have made jokes about it. I have, listen, it's the small, it's the seemingly insignificant that has had radical impact on all of us, And I counsel people on so many things. But this last few months since September has been my own personal counseling. It's really been me sitting with my own self and saying, how serious are you? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to give up? And knowing that the giving up is not a loss. It's not something to be feared. Right? And baby, on this night, okay, so let me tell you about how all things unfold. I was always at odds with, my name. My name that was given to me at birth is Cassandra Faye Floyd. The meaning of which, she who shines light on mankind. That's Cassandra. She who shines light on men. That's my first name. My middle name was a derivative of my familial name. Faye is a derivative of my grandfather, my uncle, and my great-grandfather, who were all Fate. Okay? But because I was a girl and my dad was the youngest and he only had girls, Faye became my middle name. Faye, I can't remember, has a significant meaning. Then my last name, Floyd, means the gray-haired. It's Gaelic. It means the gray-haired, right? My familial name translates to wise beyond one's years. Okay? So she who shines light on men and is wise beyond her years, the gray-haired, right? This is the name that I am given at the moment that I go from invisible to visible. Okay? That I go from an idea to a manifestation, to real, right? And yeah, so today on, oh my God, and then I'm having this epiphany effortlessly, right? In chaos, because Oya is my mother, right? My ascendant sign is Gemini. My rising is Gemini. So on this fitting Gemini full moon, I'm having this existential experience where I am being reborn on the dance floor of a club called the Echoplex that was playing not so great music, but everybody was turned up and the vibe was good. So I was like, okay, cool. I can get the vibe here, right? Yeah. So I'm saying this because, like, it's only 2 weeks left in the year, baby. It's only 2 weeks left in the year. This year is like none other because it's never existed. Never will again this year. Right? Just like you have never existed, you, as you are now, will never exist again. Okay? And for me, it's just now. I have no past. I have no judgments. I have no anger. I have no hate. I have no fear. I have, I have no beliefs. I have no beliefs. The only thing that is certain is now. That is it. That is all. That is all. And that is where oneness is. If we all accept that what was, that what is, that what will be, all we can do in every precious, perfect moment of our perfect lives as our perfect selves is be the best that we can be for ourselves, to ourselves in that moment. If we can do that, then we can become one. Because if I'm doing the best for myself, I can't shame others. I can't condemn others. I can't judge others because that's not good for me. It doesn't make me feel good judging others. I feel guilty afterwards, right? That's it, baby. I mean, there's so much more. I sat in this club that was so turned up, writing about 25 pages of notes. But I got in the car and I said, I'm not pulling off until I put something out in the world, not in a book somewhere that I wrote down that ain't nobody going to see. Out in the world, hold me accountable, because tomorrow what I'm going to be doing is catharsis. I am going to be laying my shit bare. Laying my shit bare with no expectations, but just putting it out in the world. Laying my shit bare. Laying my shit bare. Laying my shit bare. And that's just what it is. I can't carry it. I refuse to carry anything from my past into another year. None of it. None of it. No blame at all. No ill will at all. At all. At all, at all, at all. No judgment of who you are or who you were or who I, presume you to be. No. Mm-mm. 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 Yeah. Mm-mm. Yes, baby. Oh my God. Anyway, I think I just, yeah, I need to go. I'm going to do another live tomorrow. I'm probably going to do lives every day till the new year. Because, baby, when I say I am packing light, I am packing light. Okay? I am packing light. I am packing light. You can't dance with no fucking suitcase strapped on your shoulders. Oh my God. Yo. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, baby. I'm so grateful. I am so, so grateful. So grateful. So, so grateful. All right. Good night. Good day. Good morning. Y'all will hear from me again.